This week in my Todoist video, I want to talk to you about how to use Todoist and your calendar together to do time blocking. Now, we all know time blocking works because many people who do use it swear by it, and it really does work. It's something that I use every single week, and it really helps me to maximize the amount of work that I get done each day, but at the same time allows me to have plenty of time off because I'm very aware of where I am, what I'm doing, and when I'm going to do it. So at the same time, what happens is my stress levels reduce and I don't feel overwhelmed. And another benefit of time blocking with Todoist is that you are managing to help yourself see where you're going to do the work so that you're not over scheduling yourself or you're not being too ambitious with the tasks that you have in Todoist. So this week what I want to do is I want to show you how I do time blocking with my Apple Calendar and Todoist together. I don't use the Google Sync calendars because I don't really like all my tasks into my calendar. Some people do. Some people like to see everything in one place. I like to have clear boundaries between my apps. It depends what works best for you. But this week I've had a number of requests about how do I use Todoist and my calendar together. Now I have covered this in a video before, but what I want to do is just go into a little bit more detail about how I actually do this on a week-to-week basis. And I should point out that this does contain some extreme footage because I start deleting tasks before I actually complete them. But don't worry. It's not too bad. Okay, let me now take you into my Todoist and show you exactly how to do this. And before I do that, I would just like to ask you, if you do get any value from this, I would be most grateful if you would hit that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you would like to get all the latest tips, news and tricks on Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let me now take you in to my very own demo account of Todoist and show you how to do time blocking. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing here, when I do my weekly review, as I start from having just moved everything that was in next week into this week, and now this is what I'm usually left with. In this particular case, I'm using my demo account, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tasks that I really want to get done, that I've identified need to be done this week. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group ones together. So I've got here a call to call Jim, and I know I've got to call Fred at the top. I also have speak to Sarah tomorrow. Now that may be another call. It might be that I actually work in an office with Sarah. So these are actually grouped together. And then I've got my expenses work, which is to here. So I've got those two things here. And I've got work on presentation, and I've actually got another one here, which is plan out YDL, which is your digital life update for this year. And I've got a personal one there, and I've got to recharge my camera battery. So those are a couple of things that just need to be done next week. Okay, so those are my tasks for next week. They could be anything, but these are the things that we have sorted out. Now, if I go into my calendar, and this is one of the reasons I'm showing you this in dark mode, because I do think Apple's calendar app on the Mac in dark mode just looks fantastic. Now this is almost a digital copy, a perfect copy of what my week actually looks like. And so I usually have calls until 11 o'clock at night, and my day usually starts around about 7 a.m. I usually wake up about 6. So this is really where my genuinely what my week looks like. Now the first thing I do when I do my weekly review is I plan out my exercise for the week. Now usually I'm a little bit more descriptive than this. I usually actually put the type of exercise. So Wednesdays and Sundays, for example, I go out running, and Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday are usually gym sessions. They go in first because for me exercise is a non-negotiable part of my life. Now what you'll notice is there's no exercise at all in my Todoist, and this is absolutely true. Why does it need to be in Todoist? Because it's already in my calendar, so it's not in Todoist. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm looking for the blank spaces. So these writing time here, these two writing days are fixed. They do something I do every single week, and Friday afternoons are usually the days that I do my audio visual recording. Now, I am actually recording this on a Wednesday. but that's because I actually have a bit more time this week, so I'm starting these videos early. So my week is basically planned out to make sure that I get the crucial points done. My blog post gets written, my podcast gets done, and my videos get recorded. That's kind of the non-negotiables. They are fixed in my calendar, so they're never in Todoist. I don't need them in Todoist. So let's have a look here. I've got a few calls to make next week, and I think, right, I want to get those done early. So I'm looking at Monday. I'm thinking, okay, when I get back from the gym, let's say at 3:30, I'm going to do calls. And because this is a general thing, because there may be more calls that will come up, I'm just adding it as calls, and that's it. So I'm going to give myself an hour to do the calls. Once that's done, these will stay in my Todoist because that's telling me the calls I have to do, and if I pick up a few more in the next couple of days, they can be all done in that hour. So that's those done, and I can actually now add these as I can add the dates to these. So I'm going to add these for Monday. So schedule that for Monday. Done. And let's have a look. I've got these expenses. This is going to take me about an hour. So I'm going to look for another hour. And I'm thinking, well, okay, let's get this done on Monday as well. So once I finish my calls, let's do a bit of admin. So I'm going to call this admin. I'm just going to give myself 1 hour for admin, and that's put in there. So again, because I'm only keeping it general, like 1 hour of admin, I'm just going to add these for Monday. So that's going to get a lot of my tasks that I want to get done this week actually done on the first day, which is great. I like to front load my week. I would leave Monday alone then, and I've still got time here and time up here where I can fit in other things. So I'm going to go back to here. I got work on presentation for next week's conference. Now this is an interesting one because I know I'm going to need 2 hours for that. So over here I'm looking for 2 hours. I'm thinking, okay, Wednesday I like to keep as free as possible. It's kind of a flexi day. So I'm going to think, okay, let's do this on Wednesday. Again, from when I get back from the gym, I'm going to work on next week's presentation. And I'm going to make that till, let's say, 17:30. So I give myself 2 hours to do that. Okay, so that's now in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this over. I do not need this. I can now delete that task. So for those of you who are of a sensitive nature, those of you who are very have to have everything in there to do it, please look away right now because I'm going to delete that task. It's done. Because I don't need it duplicated. It's now in my calendar. What's on my calendar gets done. I do not need to worry about it. I will see that on Wednesday. In fact, actually, I will see that on Tuesday when I do my planning at the end of the day. I've got here, plan out YDL 2.0 update. This is another one where I'm going to need a few hours. I'm going to do a couple of hours session on that. So I'm going to look for that and I think, okay, Sunday's looking, I've already got it booked in for Sunday between 1 and 4 p.m. I'm actually giving myself 3 hours to do that. So again, for those of you who are a little bit sensitive nature, please look away now because I'm about to delete it. Oh no, he's deleting a task and he hasn't done it. That's true because now it's in my calendar. What's on my calendar gets done. As long as it's in my calendar, I'm not going to miss it. And the reason why the reason I didn't actually delete these ones from my Todoist is simply because that is a general expression. Calls and admin. Over here is very specific. It's work on next week's presentation and do my Your Digital Life 2.0 planning. And that's really it. Now the other things here, I can just decide, I'll do that on Sunday. So I'll do that to this week. So I'll do that on Sunday. So I can just add the date and move that in for Sunday. And recharge all my camera batteries. I'll do that on Sunday as well. Now normally on a particular week I actually whoops, where am I? I'm going into the wrong one here. What I normally do is I generally Sunday. Right, so that's it. So normally what I would do is I obviously have it more spread out, and usually I have a few more tasks than this. So this is just my demo account, and I just want to show you how I would plan my week. Now normally I'm using a laptop monitor right now, so it's a smaller monitor, but I have my laptop's usually connected to a 27-inch monitor. I just want to show you one more thing before we finish this video. What I like to do is I like to move this into my a calendar view. So I basically have everything up here, and if I just drag this to the side, that has all of this week's tasks, so I can actually see it from here, and then I can add the tasks. It's a wonderful, wonderful view that you can use. On a laptop, it doesn't really do it justice because it all looks a bit squashed. But if you have a big 27-inch monitor that you're working from, this view is brilliant for planning your week, because you can actually just scroll down from this side and look at what you've got to do, and then you can just add in everything from here. So there you go. That's how I do my time blocking on a Sunday. This is how I generally plan out my week, because it helps me to not have to worry about time and having enough time to do the work that I need to do. And that's why I like to do things this way. I hope you found this useful, and thank you very much for all your viewers' questions over the last few weeks about how I'm using time boxes. It really does help me. It has really speeded up the whole process. Every single day I'm processing so much faster. My weekly review is so much faster. I cannot believe this never occurred to me before. But like I've said before, it takes a lot of courage to finally let go of that mindset that everything has to be organized by project. The reality is it doesn't, but it does if that's the way you think it has to be. You need to possibly open up your mind and to think, well, maybe there is a better way. This is what I did, and this is how I came to this way of organizing things. Well, thank you very much for watching this week's episode. I just hope it has given you some room for thought, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now I have a question for you. Are you ready to go beyond the to-do list? Now, the reason I ask that question is because your to-do list is never going to do the work for you. Your to-do list is only ever going to show you what needs to be done. And that often can cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and a lot of overwhelm. What really helps you to get your work done, and what really helps you to become much more productive, is developing your own workflow. A workflow that you work from every single day, that makes sure that you stay focused on the things that you have identified are the most important things to you. Now that could be your work, it could be your goals, it could be your family, it could be your personal life, it could be your self-development. Whatever that is entirely personal to you. But the key is to develop the workflow so that you are consistently making small steps towards achieving the things that you want to achieve every single day. And that's why I have developed my Productivity Mastermind course, creating your very own custom workflow. And I would love for you to check out the course. The course is available now, details of which are in the notes below, and I would just love to see you in this course. So please join me in the Productivity Mastermind course, developing your very own custom workflow, because this is a course that's going to take you way beyond the to-do list, so that you start to really move forward on the goals and the things that you have identified are important to you. Thank you very much.